So remember, in the beginning, who was there? God was there, right? Who else was there? Angels. And dun dun dun, who else was there? Lucifer. Now, why did we even tell that story? What's special or weird about Lucifer? Who remembers? Mason? Well, that's why we're reviewing. Lucifer. Who's Lucifer, Joseph? Lucifer's the devil. Follow him instead of? Yes. And who did he convince? A third. Yeah, a third of all. And so his name got changed to? That's where the devil and Satan comes from. So that's why we told that story at the beginning, right? It's so you know where evil comes from. Where does evil come from? Satan, and anybody who chooses things other than whose ways? God's ways. So we don't blame everything on the devil. It's not all the devil's fault. But who was the first one to say, no, I want to be more special than God? Satan was the first one, right? So yeah. So sometimes it's nice to say, oh, Satan made me do it. No, you did it. You don't have to blame Satan. Now, sometimes Satan goes, hey, it'll be really cool to hurt somebody, right? And you go, oh, yeah, that's a really good idea. Right? All right? And then the first humans, who created everything? God did. He created humans in his image. So that means we look like God. God rules the world, right? He's in charge. And God wants to walk with the humans. Hattie, can I borrow you for a second? Can you borrow? This is God's favorite thing in the world to do. Hey, how you doing? You doing good? You doing really well? Okay. This is super fun. Let's turn around. Let's just keep walking. I mean, this is so much fun. I have so much fun. I created humans because I just like hanging out with them. Are we having fun, Hattie? This is super fun. Look at her. She's in her own world. She's having a blast. Good job. Good job. All right. Good job. All right. And God placed humans in a garden and told them not to eat of what tree? The good and evil tree. Eli, you were going to say that, right? What other tree was in the garden, Eli?
Wait, is that the forbidden tree?
What other tree was in the garden, Eli? Tree of life, exactly. So the tree of knowledge of good and evil was forbidden. The tree of life was there so that they could have continual life. Okay, so things were good. They were having a blast, like they were following whose ways? God's ways. They weren't doing anything bad until who shows up? The serpent. Okay, the story says a serpent came to Eve. Who do we think the serpent is? Mason? Satan. What's his original name? Say. Lucifer. So yeah, Lucifer, he'd convinced some of the angels not to follow God. So guess what he's going to do with the humans? He's like, ooh, I'm going to try to trick the humans to follow me instead of God. And did he succeed or did he fail? He succeeded. The humans said, oh, that sounds like a really good idea. Huh, we're going to not follow God. We're going to follow ourselves. Exactly. And so the consequence of that is we hide from God. And we are sent out of the garden. So guess who we're not with anymore? We're not with God anymore. So then what happens when evil finds its place in our heart? Cain had evil in his heart. We start hating people. And Jesus says if you hate somebody, it's like committing murder. So guess what Cain actually did, though? He actually hated his brother enough that he kills him. Can you imagine hating your brother or sister that much? Yeah, but God punished him, but God also protected him, which is weird. So God gives us consequences. Shh. Annabelle, can you please sit up? Thank you. Can you guys scoot in just a little bit more? All right. I need you to listen. Easton, I need you to, if you have a question, you can raise your hand. But don't talk while I'm talking, okay? God punishes Cain. There are consequences, but God has grace for Cain. He also protects him. Yeah. And then all of humanity during the flood was only evil all the time. So everything they did was bad. Can you imagine going to a school where every time you walked onto school, people were beating each other up, and the teachers were laughing. Would you feel safe going to a school like that?
No. Yes.
Yeah, if you were big and strong, you would be like, yeah, who can I pound today? But if you were not big and strong, you would be like, ah! And if the adults were laughing and not protecting you, that would be bad, right? Oh, that's what it was like before the flood. All of humanity, all the adults were laughing. And God was sad he made humans. So he destroyed all of humanity in a flood, but he spared one family and two of every kind of animal. And then last week was a very long, kind of windy story, and I wanted to make sure you remembered this as the most important part, okay? God picked one man. What was his name? Abraham, and his wife Sarah, and he promised that through this family, he would show the world what he was like. And he had a son, and his son's name was... Oh, wait. What was his son's name? Isaac, which means... It means laughter. And that's what we're going to do right now.